Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Transfer Talk. Today, we're going to be going over the California State University admissions process and the associate's degree for transfer. Our workshop student learning outcomes are to learn about the California State University system, to understand options for transferring to a California State University campus and identify the best pathway for you, to understand what an educational plan is, to learn about the associate's degree for transfer and the transfer admission guarantee programs. Per the California Master Plan of 1960, the California State Universities shall have as their primary function the provision of instruction in the liberal arts and sciences and in the professions and applied fields which require more than 2 years of collegiate education and teacher education for both undergraduate students and graduate students through the master's degree. Basically, what that's saying is that the purpose of the California State University was really built to get local students from the community into college, out of college, and with the career skills they need to really gain those practical, hands-on skills to enter the career paths that they're interested in and start really fueling the economy. Some of the programs that are popular and are offered at many California State University campuses are teacher education, business administration, nursing and health sciences, public administration, applied sciences, engineering, administration of justice, and communication. And then we also have a lot of unique majors that are offered by some CSU campuses, depending on the location. We have maritime transportation, enology and viticulture. We see that one at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. We have sustainability programs. SDSU has a great sustainability program, LGBT and gender studies, agriculture, film and television studies, architecture. Forestry is a great example by Cal Poly Humboldt way up north. So a lot of good options here. The California State University system in total has 23 campuses. Each of those campuses is unique and separately accredited. The California State University campuses have distinct student populations and, as I mentioned on the last slide, distinct student programs. The California State University system is renowned for the quality of teaching and preparing job-ready graduates. It educates about 460,000 students, and 95% of enrolled students are from California, and 92% of undergraduate transfers are from California Community College, home to the most ethnically, economically, and academically diverse student body in the nation. You can see those numbers on the left, the populations of each of the campuses. These numbers were from 2016. You can get a good idea about the size of each school. The California State University, or CSU, 1 in 10 employees in California is a California State University graduate. The CSU awards nearly half of the state's baccalaureate degrees. With the graduation of the class of 2015, the CSU estimates 3 million living alumni. The California State University, or CSU, receives over 285,000 applications each year. You'll hear the word impacted a lot of the time when we're talking about colleges and different majors. What impaction means is that there are more students that apply to a certain major at a certain university than there are students that they can accept. So that all that really means is that they're not accepting 100% of the qualified students that apply, and that they are competitive. Several CSU campuses are still not impacted, even though certain majors on that campus may be. Some of our generally non-impacted campuses are CSU Bakersfield, Channel Islands, Dominguez Hills, Humboldt, Maritime Academy, and CSU Stanislaus. This is what the California State University application looks like. You can find it on www.calstate.edu/apply, and you'll log in and create your account, and we will have workshops, transfer workshops during transfer season. So when those applications are open, to really walk you through every part of the application process. California State University transfer admission requirements. We know most of you are here because you want to know, what do you need to do in order to transfer? Well, you need to have 60 semester or 90 quarter transferable units. 30 of those 60 units need to be general education courses, 4 of those being basic skills courses, or the Golden Four, as you may have heard us say, with grades of C or higher. Those are going to include your English courses, your critical thinking course, your mathematics course, as well as your oral communication course. You're also going to be including all of your major preparation courses in those 60 units. And in total, you need a 2.0 or higher cumulative transferable GPA. 1 of 3 CSU campuses admit transfer applicants based only on CSU eligibility requirements, but impacted campuses may have stricter admissions requirements, and we're going to see that a lot with schools like San Diego State. Some different transfer pathways to get into a California State University. We're going to start off with the general transfer pathway. The general transfer pathway is for students who are not necessarily completing an ADT. Maybe they're not eligible for an ADT, or their major isn't open to an ADT. Maybe these students aren't completing a major that has tag, or they're applying to schools that don't offer tag, and they're going to go through the general pathway. This is a great way to get into the university. You're going to be completing those 60 units, completing all your major preps, completing your GEs, and basically competing with other students based on your GPA and your level of priority. And you can get priority to different CSUs based on what community college you go to and if you're local. Another way to kind of lose admission priority would be to attend another four-year university. So for our students who have attended a four-year university in the past, other than the one that they're trying to apply to, it's often a really good path for them to do the associate's degree for transfer pathway instead of the general pathway. And we'll talk to you a lot about that individually in an appointment. But the associate's degree for transfer is a way for students to get a guarantee that they will be admitted into a California State University. And we'll talk about that more on coming slides. And then we have the transfer admission guarantee. This is really specific to San Diego State. It's pretty complex. So if you're interested in the tag, we will go over that with you individually. We can look up if your major is even open to tag. Some majors are, some majors aren't. And you would have to complete 100% of your transfer admission requirements at a local San Diego community college. So if you ever took a single class at a community college north of Highway 56, then you would not be eligible for tag or guaranteed admission to San Diego State. So that's a little bit complex, and we'll talk to you about that individually as well in an appointment. But just to get an idea, those are the 3 pathways that are offered for the CSUs. Again, 60 is that magic number we're looking for. So let's say you're going to complete all of your 60 transferable units by the end of spring 2023, then that means you should have already applied to transfer in the fall of 2022. So just to kind of keep that timeline in mind, you are going to apply to transfer before you're finishing those classes. So if your goal is to transfer after 2 years at Mesa, then at the beginning of that second year is when you're going to want to start working with transfer counselors, coming to meetings in the transfer center, and really getting an idea of exactly what you need to do in order to transfer on time. So the associate's degree for transfer, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have both the associate in arts for transfer or the associate in science for transfer, depending on what your major is. There's a Senate Bill 1440 that mandates every CSU to provide priority admission to California community college students who have earned an AAT or an AST degree. Students who earn an AAT or AST and meet the minimum CSU eligibility requirements are guaranteed admission to one CSU campus, but not necessarily to a particular campus or major. So let's say, for example, you complete your ADT from Mesa, you do the Business Administration 2.0, you apply to San Diego State as a general business major, and then your GPA just isn't quite competitive enough. You're not in their top percentage of students, and you are maybe waitlisted or you are denied from getting admitted to SDSU. One really cool thing is that they will actually redirect your application. As long as you completed this ADT and you applied to the correct ADT major that matches it, they will ask you, they'll let you know, we do not have room for you in this major, but maybe CSU Dominguez Hills does, or they will find a campus for you at California State University that does have room in that program, and they will ask if you would like to redirect or forward your application over to that university. So it's a really great way for students to be able to branch out to other universities if they aren't making it into that top choice. Of course, we hope that you're going to make it into that top choice. You also may be given a GPA bump of a 0.1 when applying to an impacted campus outside of your local area or an impacted major that is deemed similar. And once admitted at a CSU campus in an approved program, students can complete a bachelor's degree at that CSU with 60 semester units or 90 quarter units of coursework. So this is just a little bit of a visual of what your associate's degree for transfer might look like. Generally, it's going to include major preparation, a general education pattern, and sometimes elective units. And then in order to earn your bachelor's degree, you're going to, once you get there, after you've transferred, you're going to be completing the rest of your major coursework, a couple of upper division general education courses that the community colleges don't offer. And in total, that's going to give you your 120 unit bachelor's degree. Associate's degree for transfer, again, another slide. A student may earn an ADT in a particular major, but they are not required to apply to a CSU with the ADT. It is up to you. Students who apply to a major that has 2 pathway options will be considered under the general pathway if they do not receive their ADT. So for example, let's say you're a business major, I'm going to stick with that. And so at SDSU, you can apply with your ADT for general business or for financial services. If you apply to any other business emphasis, so let's say you chose marketing or accounting, then you're going to be now in the general pathway. It's still great that you earned your ADT. That's still something you can definitely list on your resume. It'll still show up on your transcripts. You can use it for employers. But now you will no longer be using that ADT in order to apply. So that means that that degree with the guarantee, it's out the window. But oftentimes for our students applying to San Diego State, it can be more beneficial for them not to use their ADT. Sometimes those non-ADT programs have a little bit lower GPA requirements, or the students in those pools have lower GPAs. So that's a great option too. And your counselors will have one-on-one conversations with you, just depending on your unique situation and where your coursework is from, all that good stuff. So we can really help you pick the best possible route for you to go down when you're applying for transfer. In order to qualify for the ADT program, students must indicate on their Cal State Apply application that they are applying for a major through the ADT option. CSU campuses will request electronic verification from community colleges that students are on track to complete the degree by the end of the spring prior to admission. This program guarantees that students who earn an AAT or AST degree from a California community college will be admitted to a CSU, but not to the campus of their choice. Due to impaction at some CSU campuses, students who have completed their ADT but do not have competitive applications will be redirected. I know we talked about this a little bit earlier. Now we're going to go over the SDSU Transfer Admission Guarantee or TAG program. So this would require, again, those minimum 60 transferable units, Golden 4 courses, your oral comm, written communication, critical thinking, and math. General education courses, complete a certified GE package of 39 units or any applicable lower division GE pattern listed in the SDSU catalog. Most of you are probably completing IGETC or the CSU GE Breath with us. Your GPA, of course, is going to be counted, and your major preparation courses, making sure you have all of the major preparation courses listed in the SDSU catalog. Those are all required for the TAG. The components of an education plan. When you come to see us counselors, we're going to be writing you an education plan and plugging those into your planner and your MySCCD portal. And those are going to include general education, the CSU GE Breath Pattern or IGETC, major preparation courses. We will use assist.org or sdsu.edu/TAP to figure out exactly what courses are required based on your goals. We will review any electives if needed. Most of you don't need electives. You're already going to hit that 60 just with those major preps and GEs. But for those of you who do require electives, we'll go over those with you as well. And then whatever is required in the MESA catalog is also required for those associate's degree for transfer degrees. Now we have our CSU dates and deadlines. If you're interested in applying to a CSU for a January start, you want to apply for the spring semester. Those typically are due for between August 1st and August 31st. The dates may vary by campus, so we always encourage you to reach out to the campuses you're interested in applying to, especially if you just missed that August 31st deadline. Sometimes they'll extend those deadlines, so always great to double check. But generally speaking, those spring applications are due by August 31st. October 1st to November 30th is the fall application cycle. Again, sometimes we see this date get extended, but do not count on that. If you don't submit by November 30th, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to submit. And this is for the following fall. So if you want to apply for transfer in August of the next year, then you'd want to apply that October and November. In October, you can also begin applying for financial aid at www.fafsa.gov. And then in January, we have a supplemental application that's due. So the CSUs know that when you apply in October, of course, you don't know your fall grades yet. Your fall classes are still underway. So that supplemental application gives you the opportunity to refresh them and let them know what your final fall grades were and update that GPA. Sometimes at the beginning of the year, schools are going to start requiring your official transcripts. Some CSUs will, some CSUs won't until after you're admitted. So it just depends on the campus. Again, you should be logging into your portals for each of the campuses that you applied to. And if you have any questions about that campus, always feel free to call. I always tell students they have an entire office of people, the admissions office or the prospective student center, that really are there just to answer questions of students that are incoming or students who are going through the application process. So don't be shy. They really are there to help you, and they'll answer those questions too if you have them. Sometime during the spring, we're going to verify your ADTs. Those usually for us are due by the end of March. What that means is that you need to make sure that you have applied to graduate. You can do that up to 2 semesters in advance before you're finishing your classes. So while you're working on those applications in October, be sure to log into your MySDCCD portal if you're earning an ADT and apply to graduate for whatever semester you're going to graduate. So that way it's done. You can check it off your list, and we will be sure then to put you on our verification list to the CSUs. Typically, you'll hear back about those admissions decisions between March and April. The intent to enroll deadline is May 1st, and between May and July, you'll have those official transcripts, test scores, all that good stuff will be due. And that's it from us on the associate's degree for transfer process. Hopefully these transfer pathways are helpful. We know there's so much information. We want to be talking to you individually about your situation. So be sure to schedule a counseling appointment. We're here in the transfer center. We also have transfer talks throughout the week that you can just pop in on Zoom without an appointment. So that's a great way to get a hold of us as well. And here's our information. Thank you all, and we hope to see you soon.